It has begun. As I'm releasing this video on the 4th of July, let me tell you, fireworks aren't the only thing going up in smoke tonight. If you caught last week's video, you know that I predicted that the market would be in serious trouble within 2 weeks. Now, 1 week later, I have some polarizing numbers to share with you. The numbers I'm about to share completely legitimizes what I've been warning you all about. So this month's video is actually going to be broken up into 2 parts. In this first part, I'm simply going to go over the numbers and then take some time to explain what and why these numbers are so vital to pay attention to. Then tomorrow, I'll be releasing my second video, which lays out how our housing market can quickly go from bad to much worse in a very short amount of time. So stay tuned as I break this all down for you. Okay, first up are last month's sales. Last month, we sold 2,476 homes. Now, that means absolutely nothing to you without context, right? Okay, so last June, we sold 3,375 homes. This translates into a 27% decline in sales. This also makes it the worst month for sales this entire year, by a landslide. Now, on one hand, last June was one of the best on record, so difficult to reach that goal and slightly even unfair to compare. Now, on the other hand, I went back 10 years, and the only June that was worse than this was June of 2020 due to COVID. So yeah, it's completely fair to say that last month's sales was one of the absolute worst on record. There is simply no way to disguise this. Sales are plummeting as we speak. Now, if you don't believe all the data, check this out. After 3 years of home builders basically acting as if customers are lucky to buy their homes, already I'm seeing these kinds of emails. Toll Brothers is now willing to buy down your interest rate down to 5% if you buy one of their standing inventory homes. Richmond American is offering to pay your closing costs if you buy any of their homes. And finally, the absolute kiss of death email. Beazer Homes just cut their prices up to 8% on some of their homes that are scheduled to be completed in October and September. I mean, think about it. It's one thing to cut prices on a home that's just sitting around, but to cut prices on a home you haven't even built yet, that tells you that they're scared, you know what, about the market in the next few months. Why else would you discount a product you haven't even built yet? And believe me, this is only the beginning. Next up is everyone's favorite headline, median home prices. Now, before I give you the scoop, this is really important, really important. I'm telling you right now that this is not likely to even be reported correctly. On Tuesday, the Association of Realtors will release June's numbers to the press. When they release MLS sales, it's typically reported as resale home median prices. Where this goes horribly astray is the fact that the association simply provides MLS sales data for June. They don't filter out new home sales that are listed on the MLS. Now, why is this important? Right now, this is incredibly important. When the market's hot, home builders rarely put homes for sale on the MLS since everything available simply just sells itself. So 99.9% of the homes on the MLS are resale homes by default. Well, now that new homes aren't selling so well, guess what? Tons of these new homes are starting to pop up on the MLS. Well, we all know that new homes are much more expensive than resale homes. So when you start adding more expensive new homes to the MLS, the median price will rise as a result. So now here's the truth versus what's likely to be reported. Last month, the median price fell for the first time in years. We went from a median price of $485,000 to only $480,000. This snapped a 32-month streak of rising prices. Now guess what? If we add new home sales into the mix, that price jumps back up to $485,000. So my guess is that the media next week will start announcing that median home prices plateaued at $485,000, and some say may fall in the next year. Meanwhile, you and I know what really happened. Now, if you haven't had enough pain for one video, let's check out housing inventory levels. As I've said for many months now, this is our barometer to where the market is heading. Well, here you go. Inventory increased 52% last month alone. We ended the month with 5,454 homes on the market. As bad as that looks, it's not just the increased inventory levels that concern me, but the rate by which inventory is increasing. Check this one out. Over the past 11 weeks, our inventory has gone up 100 homes a week to 2 to 3 to 4, and then last week our inventory jumped almost 700 homes in just 1 week. Now, I don't expect every week to be that bad, but good Lord, even at 500 homes a week, that's 2,000 per month. Whether people realize it or not, it's already a buyer's market. But add, say, 6,000 homes by Halloween, and this market's gonna be scarier than any movie you're trying to stream. I'm not trying to be Mr. Doom and Gloom over here, but how can you not look at these numbers and not see trouble ahead? Okay, for our last metric, let's check out housing absorption by price range. I literally created this analytic during quarantine for this very moment in time. Nobody else can give you this information since these are literal snapshots in time that you can't go back and replicate. So let's deep dive here. The reason I created this metric is to illustrate how different price segments are performing. See, the first-time homebuyer, say in North Las Vegas, may have an incredibly different buying experience as, say, the $1 million Green Valley homebuyer. So let's see which segments are getting pounded the hardest right now. When I created this 2 years ago, there was 1,300 homes on the market, priced under $250,000. Cut to today, there's only 36. So let's not even bother. Instead, we start with homes priced between $250,000 to $500,000. This represents 45% of our entire market. Well, here you go. We went from 56% last month to 39% now. For context, just in March, this number was 77%. So for the average home buyer, the market saturation level has dropped in half, meaning out of the 10 homes you see on Zillow, only 4 now are going to be under contract. It's getting to be wide open out there. Next, we move to 500 to 750. This dropped from 39% to only 26%. Now we're down to only 1 out of 4 homes under contract. All right, let's peep out 750 to 1 million. This plummeted from 31% to only 21%. All right, maybe the luxury market's faring better, right? I mean, rich people are still rich, right? 1 million to 1.5 million, killed from 27% to only 17%. Finally, we have the ultra luxury market of over $1.5 million. Already weakened, this dropped from 21% to only 14%. Think about that. If you have an ultra luxury home and need to sell, only about 1 in 10 homes are under contract right now. Not good. Now, what did I tell you 4 months ago before this even started? What have I warned you guys for like 5 years now, over and over again? Every client of mine knows this. If and when the market corrects itself and or crashes, all of these new overpriced homes are going to be barbecue chicken. Builders aren't building so-called affordable homes anymore. The majority of what's being built are overpriced homes hitting $750,000 to $1.5 million in the better areas of town where most of this building is being done. Why do you think these price ranges are getting killed though? Just because you thought this new home was worth $1 million doesn't mean it really is. When the market is down, people take the time to compare and analyze the inherent value of these homes. I'm seeing newer KB homes on the market for $1 million plus. We're talking 2-story, 2-car garage, 2,500 square feet. Meanwhile, the 15-year-old version of that same home is currently about half the price. New is nicer, but not twice as nice. I mean, at least here in the real world you and I live in. Put $50,000 into a remodel and it'll look identical to that $1 million home and likely in a better location even. So let's go ahead and wrap this up. Sales plummeted, median price dropped, inventory is exploding, and housing absorption is plummeting. So what do I do if I'm looking to sell? What do I do if I'm looking to buy? What's going to happen to this market? For all these questions, like this video and be sure to click on the subscribe button and bell to get notified tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to explain how this market goes from already bad to potentially much worse. I'm going to explain how this happened in 2008, why this is different, but also why we're likely to see some serious trouble over this next year. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Have a great 4th of July, everyone, and I'll see you all on the next one. Deuces.